Oh, hey there guys. So, as you may tell in the title, I'm playing columns for the Sega Genesis, I about said Sega Super System, that's stupid. Anyway, I actually have a little bit to say before I get into the gameplay for this one. Whenever I was a kid, I actually started in a very weird, strange, limbo as far as video games are concerned. Whenever I got to the age that I could finally play video games on my own, and I just kinda did it out on my own free time and enjoyed myself, I was wrapped between a bunch of different systems all at the same time because I was born right in the middle of the era when Sega and Nintendo were rivals, Sony was just now coming into the market, and Xbox hadn't been anywhere near complete yet. So, as the time that I came into life, I had a start with 4 systems because my uncle was a really big gamer before the day I even came along, and he kind of showed me the way, I guess you could say, as far as video games are concerned. So, whenever I grew up, I started with the Super Nintendo, the original Nintendo, and the 64. Talk about a really great way to start your childhood. But then later in time, after I met got with my mom, because that's a totally different story for another video. But whenever I stayed with her, she used to always have a Sega Genesis, and she always had a handful of games that I loved. We had Sonic 2, that was a great one. We had Columns, which you're about to see in a minute. We had Eternal Champions, and we had Streets of Rage 2. A wonderful, wonderful little group of games to play whenever you're a kid like me. It was so much fun. I loved every moment. Me and Mom used to play Columns together all the time. And it just brings back a lot of good memories. It reminds me of my childhood, back when things weren't so complex and so irritating. And life was just fun. I did not see the bad of the world. I did not see the bad of people. I stayed away from news, I stayed away from people, and I enjoyed my life as a gamer. So every time I fire up Columns, I kind of go back to the late 90s, when I loved video games more than anything in the world, and Columns was one of my top favorite puzzle games of all time because no matter where I went, no matter who I was talking to, it felt like only I knew Columns. And now, I am going to show all of you and the rest of the world the beauty of Columns. So, with that long intro aside, let's get into the game, shall we? Because I am so eager for this. As you can tell, it is Sega. This was 1990. I was born in 94, so this was a few years before I was even made. And here are our settings. We have the arcade, we have the menu, and we have options. So options are just your basic. You can choose your difficulty, you can choose how your controller works. All the buttons do the same thing anyway. Color test is a bit weird because back whenever I had an old CRT TV, I used to mess with the color test all the time just to make sure that I got the best colors possible out of my system. And actually the recording window and the window I'm looking at are totally different. The blue is like way down to the second bottom, the purple is like above the third, the green is like above the fourth, and the red is like around the third. But all of you guys see the colors perfectly, so who cares? Anyway, let us get into Columns, and I want to show you all the way to play. So I'm just going to start with arcade. Oh, I love that theme. I'm just going to start on on easy, because that's how I was as a kid, and hints will be given until level 3. Thank you very much, game. Alright, so here's the idea. You press any of the 3 buttons on your controller to cycle your gems from top to bottom. And this is showing me hints that I need to drop that blue one up top to match the pieces. So, in a way, it's kind of like Bejeweled and kind of like Candy Crush, but not at all, because you can only move them from top to bottom. So see, every time see, I'm swapping from the top to the bottom. That's the only way you can move your columns. After removing 3 of a kind, you basically get rid of them. After you clear so many columns, you actually start to get further in difficulty and higher on gameplay. You can match diagonally, you can match vertically, and you can match horizontally. So, it's not as complex as some other games, but it's still worth playing if you're a puzzle fan, such as myself. And you never really... you lose track of time whenever your mind is in the puzzle and the speed is slowly picking up and you're freaking out on the inside like, oh dude, one wrong move, I could blow everything up. Everything could fall apart. Dude, focus. So, that's why I love columns, and every time that I play this, it reminds me of back when me and Mom used to do nothing but video game and hang out all the time. And, see, now we're moving a bit faster, the music picked up some. As you can see, I'm only on level 1 still, but I'm working my way up. And, this has a very important, life for me as a kid. Because this was one of the first games I ever actually had an introduction to, because Mom was playing it in, the living room one day. And I walked in and asked her, hey, what are you doing? She was like, oh, I'm playing columns, do you want to join me? I said, yeah, sure, why not? And eventually I will show the 2-player mode, but not for a while, because obviously me and Anthony can't hang out in this room without making so much noise that everyone hates us. But one day you'll see 2-player, don't worry about it. Oh, it's picking up fast now. Now I gotta start thinking a bit more, so sorry if I lose track of conversation after a while, but the heat is on. I'm moving at a very good speed now. I'm waiting for a certain thing to pop up so that I can give you a tutorial on that, but it's taking a while. I think it's because I haven't made enough combos yet. But it's okay, because I'm about to get there. Alright. Let's not be dumb about this. Oh, there it is. Okay, if you hit blocks with that shiny block, it destroys every jewel of that color. So, needless to say, you really want to make sure you use those gems to their fullest. I hear a car pulling in, I think it's Nan, I do not care. I am playing, I am happy, I want to just do this now. And I think I've boned. Oh no, I accidentally comboed. Sweet. I'm about at the point that I'm going to lose, so... I just wanted to show you the basis of the game. Unlike 2 and 3, there really isn't a story mode per se, so all you have is arcade. Oh, I'm so boned. Oh, I'm not making this. I'm done. I'm done. GG. Game over. I made it to level 3 though. And the initials are... Yep. DHH. Even the game over theme is wonderful. Yeah, I didn't even make a dent on the board. Anyway, that was just kind of a early show of columns for the Sega Genesis once again. I love this game dearly, I enjoy it very much, but sadly I can't really do that much with it. Every once in a while I can upload a columns video, but I don't really have much... Oh yeah, I forgot the tutorials right here. But anyway, now you see where my gaming came from, now you see where it all began. You see where I got the idea that I loved all different kinds of games. And, I will be doing this later on, more later, but I'm pretty much done with this for now, so, thank you all so much for watching. This will be a regular thing as long as I can get away with it. And, yeah, I'll talk to you all then. Oh, yep, there's the magic jewels. Nice one. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Thanks so much for watching. This has been DJER25. And take care, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.